Hey teacher, today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Ethereum. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on daily time frame and looking at the higher time frame first. In this one, again, the main idea that we've had is that we've had a three-way structure down here into these lows of June 18th, and since then we have been working on some kind of correction that is correcting this first original correction. So we are somewhat creating a larger corrective structure that the goal of is creating this structure and having this combining this over here to the next. Whether and when this is going to be finished, we don't know of that yet, but again, that is the main idea. Now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at this structure over here, starting from the 18th of June. On this one, the bearish scenario was that we had a three-way move into W, three ways into X, and three ways into wave Y. Again, let's get off of the log so you can see these are actually lining up somewhat. And then we had the bullish idea of having this as 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the sub of wave 4 would be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how you want to be labeling it here. The point is that we would have 5 waves in here in this 5-way structure. Again, based on the higher time frame as mentioned, I would look this as a wave A for now, at least, and then we would be looking for a C wave here as a partner leg. If this C extends to 1.618 extension of that wave A, and that would be, let's take a look, around 3K on arithmetic scale, and on logarithmic scale that would be $4,500. Definitely not my ideal target. We would be looking at the possibility of this being a wave 1, 2, 3. But again, to me, that is not very likely, even if we would extend all the way up in here. So yeah, that is the main idea here. Then we had a correction that would correct this first original move here. This was one of the possibilities. Again, I don't like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had talked about the issues here. This does not really fit into a 5-way move too much. This third wave is very small compared to this wave 1 here. So therefore, again, this is not very likely. Other scenarios we had was a WXYZ, which is again something that I don't really want to use unless there is no other options. However, this again looks pretty okay here. 3 ways into W, 3 ways in X, 3 ways in wave Y, a triangle in X, and then 3-way structure in the Z. So that is fitting pretty nicely, even on smaller time frames. And yeah, that's that. That is basically it. Of course, you could have this as a 3-way structure as well, like so. I thought I had that somewhere here. Oh yeah, I had it this way. These are just jumping all over these structures here, or these folders, I don't know why. So overall, the idea would be that we had a 3-way structure here into a possible W, then A, B, and C into an X wave, and then we would be looking for down again, taking out this wave W lows, most likely taking out the lows of this subwave structure B, and then pivoting from here on out again to create that partner leg for this structure higher. So those are some of the higher time frame structures that I like. I'm not quite sure which one I like more, this as an ABC or as a WXYXZ. Both of those are very probable to me. However, one thing is very likely is that we have had a pivot point from here as a 5-way structure. Now the question is whether this is a start or an end of something. And as of now, we don't know of that yet. Now, before getting into the smaller time frame here, let's check out some of the non-Elliott Wave stuff and get on a bit smaller time frame here. Now, again, this is the low we had, the 13th of October, and since then, again, we've had this pump. On the 26th, we had a tag into a naked point of control where we took downwards some kind of a 3-way structure. I've labeled it as 1, and then afterwards we would have another pump up higher, tag the daily, and now finding some kind of resistance there as well. So These are definitely very valuable dailies, naked point controls, and of course the volume profiles. I like to use these volume profiles where I see impulse wave structures or clear corrective structures with pivot points. So at the moment, again, we had the potential of having this coming all the way down here, and this was again the max we want to see the possible wave 4 come down to. We would have had support there. At the moment, if we are placing this already to the place where we have more data come in, we can see that the volume area high have now risen to the previous lows. Again, we wouldn't have used this as a confluence because again that wouldn't have happened before, and the volume area high was here. But again, this is just giving us some more ideas that this is going to be some kind of area of interest again if we are coming back to here. Of course, new daily here around 14, and a naked point of control there as well from yesterday. So this is again an area of interest for sure. Now let's get into these two different ideas. So we had the potential of having this as an ABC. I don't think this fits too well, just based on the extensions. We have gone beyond the 1.236 here, so again it is not that likely. However, it is still possible. I allow it to go to the 2.618 here on crypto, so that is something that definitely keep in mind. In here I would be labeling this as a 1, 2 and 3, 4, and then looking for that fifth. Again, third of third having the highest RSI here, divergence to the peak here, so that would give us that third and fifth. So yeah, that is one possibility still. However, this does not really fit in the higher time frame counts that we had, where we were expecting a C wave from here on out, or we would be expecting something new here. Of course, this could be something else here, but again, the WXYZ would be possibly expecting a start for this one, in which we would be favoring the 5-way structure here. It is of course possible that this WXYZ would be the start of a larger correction, in which this could be still an ABC, which would be a connector wave structure to connecting this structure over to the next. So there are still multiple different ways the market can go, but again, I have my preference of this being a 5-way structure. So let's show you that count and what we had here. So I shared you this before, but again, let's go over this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structures into wave 1, 3-way pullback into wave 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and yeah, then we would have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had a bit of a very large wick here on that third of third, and then fifth of third here, actually not giving us divergence because the third would be higher. Again, this was a very large wick, not quite sure. I can't really explain it. It is just a truncated fifth here, and I'm allowing that there because this wick here happened so fast. Generally, I don't want to be playing with truncations, but again, that is the only thing that I see that is actually fitting here. Again, third of third here being the highest on RSI, giving us divergence against the fifth here, as mentioned, so that is all good. Labeling this as the third of third here at the moment. There is of course still a possibility that the wave 4 is not here, but instead we would have this as an A, B and C. Let's check out the maximum we can go there. The max it could go to is this 1.618. So if we don't want to have the wave 4 here, or if this turns out to be a 3-way structure like so, we would be looking for 5-way structure here, taking out these current lows here most likely, or getting a truncation, of course, that is possible, and then continuing at higher prices. But yeah, this 1.618 around 1668 is a key level to look at as well. Let's actually add an alert there, and there we go. So that's that. So the wave 4. Okay. In here, I've labeled this as a 3-way structure. 3-way structure getting back to the 0.9 here for a possible flat structure, and then I've labeled this as a 1-2, 1-2. I know that wave 2 here is way larger than the wave 2 here, but this is the way I've labeled this for now. The overall idea is that we have a three-way structure here. I tried to scalp it from here, did not work well. We already had that divergence between this one, so I was thinking that we actually had this as a 1-2 here, 3, 4, and 5 somehow, something like this. But again, that did not work out. I got stopped out, I got wicked out here, and the next structure I got only back in around the 1.505, which was here. I got in on this pullback here. Again, if we go to smaller time frame, maybe we can see that 1.505. Yeah, this pullback. So we had a very massive pump here on basically a 2 minute, and then a small dip and getting to buy here, and I'm still holding that long at the moment. We are getting some kind of divergence up in here, so we might need to be looking into possible take profit at least, if not anything else. Now, why was I even looking at longs here is just because, again, we had some targets here as a three-way structure. We had the potential 1.382 here. We had the 382 retracement of that third wave, again pivoted from all the way from here up to the highs, and we had the 382 here. Again, that is very valuable here. Let's fix that a bit. Yeah, we don't need to adjust that. But yeah, 38.2, and we had these two levels. Again, we don't want to see these ABCs going beyond the 1.618, otherwise it could be turning into an impulse wave. We did not get that, so that is fine. The max we want to see the the wave 4 go to is the previous third wave's wave 4, which would be right around this 0.5 retracement as well, which is again another area where we wouldn't want to see any kind of significant closes on ETH or any asset, basically, if we are on an impulse wave. So that's that. So now again, we have the potential of having this as a 5-way structure or creating that ABC structure that I was mentioning with this count here. Again, if we go beyond the 1668, then this is no longer the case, and this is confirmed as a 5-way structure coming up. Now, this is not very easy to label here, so at the moment I'm just looking at the RSI. I feel like we could be having this as a 5-way structure up in here. We do have that divergence for this potential wave 1 and then wave 2 and then potential another 5-way structure here, 1, 2, and then this could be a 5-way structure here as well. We have the highest high here on RSI, so that this could be a third of third already in making. So we could have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, it does not really look too good extension wise, so I'm still a bit careful with that. So definitely there is a potential of this being a 3-way structure as well. If we are looking at these extensions, we are right around the 1-to-1 extension of this first leg here. So it is definitely a possibility that this is, instead of that 5-wave, we would have this as a 3-way structure, and then we would be looking for either this expanded structure downwards, or we would be looking for a running flat structure that would end somewhere around here before the lows of this previous possible wave 4. So those are the two scenarios I'm actually at the moment looking at, and this is probably the only things that I'm looking carefully on ETH at the moment. But I think that is pretty much all I want to share on ETH. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below, and for now I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.